Has it finished? Why are you asking me now? What type of question is that? Boy. Is the album finished or do we have a few more songs to go? It seems like it's got 1 or 2 more. Oh, we are not done yet. Yeah, exactly. No, I've heard you, Sha. What is all this rockers? Tell me. Bossa, bossare, bossa, bossare. Shoti mommy woppa, motikoni wopare. Shoti mommy woppa, motikoni wopare. Like hey, love me mother, send the dollar. That's just all I say. Undercover, then they call me yes so boomba yeah. Whatty reti, thanks for waiting. Better move my way. Stop the hating, no debating. Here's the truth I say. On your mark, get set and go. Mind the line like a rectangle. I'll be fine if they let man go. Go's been good, had to let man know. Ain't no need to finesse angles. They don't see what the left hand knows. I don't need what the next man shows. I say go side, love me mother, send the dollar. That's just all I say. Undercover, then they call me yes so boomba yeah. Whatty reti, thanks for waiting. Better move my way. Stop the hating, no debating. Here's the truth I say. Bossa, bossare, bossa, bossare. Shoti mommy woppa, motikoni wopare. Shoti mommy woppa, motikoni wopare. I know what they're just gon' say. Got the nerve to come in my lane. I won't give you none of my time. Keep that energy for my space. Don't you hate, don't you violate me. I got 100 more, so don't make me. By the time we done, you gon' rate me. And it's for the sun, so don't make me. Opa, hey. This right here is a whole party. No talks with the enemy.
But what I want to do right now is welcome you again, like I said, to Gods and Angels Gala, a show about love, loss, and everything in between, all right? This is the first melanated Met Gala of its own, all right? We want to continue to do this in other cities. This is not the first. This will not be the last, okay? Well, it is the first, but it won't be the last, all right? So this is brought to you by Blue Robin and ArTestimony in collaboration with AfroGanix and Goddess Talk Radio. I need help with this. So Blue Robin and ArTestimony's collection is anchored in spiritual vision with the theme of love and loss, what it elicits, okay? It evokes an emotional response from viewers and the artists alike, with a focus on healing and understanding the divine immersed in love. Tonight, you'll not only experience amazing art, but you'll, also experience beautiful performances by classical dancers. We have a harp performance and much more. So be prepared to have all of your senses stimulated. So we're so happy to have you here to be a part of this melanated experience. We hope that you enjoy viewing, hearing, smelling, touching, and tasting all of this melanated excellence tonight. All right? Thank you. So first thing I'd like to do is introduce our host. I just wanted to introduce the host. I'm not the host for tonight, all right? But our host is Mr. Morris Martin. All right, so go ahead, DJ. I need Morris's song. So Morris is a Tampa native, okay? That's one of my homies, okay? And he embraced me when I came down here. He's been amazing. He is in the healing department. He works within the education system. So what we wanted to do is to really bring people here who are all about healing. It's not just about what you do, it's how you do it, all right? So with no further ado, we're excited to have Morris be our MC for Gods and Angels here in Tampa Bay, Florida. So please clap it up for him. Thank you.
For being here. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and trust and believe when the show is over, you will know that everybody that wasn't here, when they see the pictures, when they hear about the great performance and all of the amazing art that's going to be displayed today through performance, through painting, through storytelling, they will know that they missed an amazing event. So I want to go ahead and give a first shout out to the person that put this together. It's an amazing event, an amazing vision that she has. So give Bolaji, so she can hear, give her another round of applause, okay? Give her a round of applause for Gods and Angels. And this is definitely something that can be replicated and done over and over again in many different cities. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Bolaji's vision. And it's very rare that I meet someone that, for lack of a better term, out-blacks me, just, and it's very, very refreshing. And what I mean by that is that it's hard to be unapologetically black in everything, all the time, non-stop. And she'll trump me, because sometimes I might have to outsource. I do different events in the city, a lot of different events, and I can always count on her to out-trump me, because I'm always trying to find a black-owned venue and this and that. And sometimes, as you all know, it's very hard and very challenging. But Bolaji is the line, and she's not going above the line, So black people from all the different places that we come from, she is the standard. Her and a few others in the city. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Black venue, this, that, the third, blah, blah, blah. So it's just very refreshing. So I just wanted to put that out there. You all know that, but I wanted to say it out loud and put it into the universe that she does an amazing job with that. But with that being said, Gods and Angels, a show about love, loss, and everything in between. And she's already talked about these two amazing artists that, came all the way down, and the artwork is amazing. Blue Robin and ArTestimony, and all their stuff represents, things that have happened to them. And one thing that I read up on that also touched me as well is some of the things that inspired the two artists is the loss of their mother at a young age. And I'm reading and I'm like, okay, wow, because I kind of lost my mom at an early, maybe I don't know how as young as them, but at an early age as well. So it resonated with me. And as you can see, the pieces are very emotional. They touch a nerve, as art should. Art should speak to you and touch a nerve in a good way, in a bad way, and just move you to certain type of feelings. And this artwork does, and at different times we're gonna have you walk around, look at the art. There'll be times to buy some art. So, we just wanna enjoy this night. There's plenty of drink, food, beverage, all by the hands of black people like yourself. So we want to make sure we support. And but we're gonna do two. We're gonna do one now, and we might do one at the end of the night. But I have this thing I like to call a SMB. It's called a social media bomb. And what an SMB, so if you hear from anybody, they stole it from me. A SMB social media bomb is basically, just go ahead and pull out your phone right now and just tag, say, hey, Gods and Angels, you should have been here. Or Gods and Angels 2019, you missed it, you should have been here. Go ahead and do that now and just put it out there so everybody around us will be like, okay, their phone's gonna start, Earth's gonna start shaking. And they'll be like, oh, okay, I should have made sure that I go to the next one. So go ahead, if you got a social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's really quick. Just Gods and Angels 2019. Y'all missed it, you should have been here. Great food, great venue, great atmosphere, all black owned. Make sure you come out next year. So, without further ado, once again, all this melanated excellence tonight is amazing. Our venue, decor, food, bartending, printing, radio, candles, all black owned. So like I said, when I tell you she does it, she does it. And I'm sorry, but it may not mean anything to you, but that always makes me feel great, So I can say what I want to say, when I want to say it, and I'm not worried about, I'm not worried anyway, but I know in here it's all of us. So it's a beautiful thing. Sipping on all black owned brands. Sponsor, clap that up. Sponsored by all black businesses. When I tell you, it feels good. My skin feels good just for all that, So I know that whatever I spend, whatever you spend, is going to a black-owned black woman, a black man, and then they can feed their kids on black dollars and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep saying it because it feels good on my skin. It feels good coming out of my mouth. So, So let's begin with our first performer. Get ready to be mesmerized by Beryl. Beryl, clap it up. Beryl is a creative maven with experience as a professional dancer and choreographer, creative director, and integrated arts wellness consultant and educator. She has earned a BA in psychology and master's in public health from the University of South Florida. We're excited to have Beryl perform Gods by Angel Hayes.
You said we could dance forever. You said 2 hearts in the water blew together. I remember. Being with the flash, baby. Running on the spring with you. Dancing on your pedestal. Writing in your dressing room. I remember. We were gods before this. We make a million times. Reach for the guns that you need in your eye. I don't know to what we're gonna fly. You hold me tight in the frame of your mind. I was up for the nature wait for you, baby. This is nothing to hide. I was born, nothing else mine. You were raised up with no one on your side. All I have is all to you. And you wait so long for you. Baby, if I'm memories didn't make me, I would leave the world for you. Yeah. All I heartache, we gon' baby, covered by jump juices, praying that the trees were dead, finding you without the bruises. I remember, I tried to revive, you remember, but you were gone for good. You were dancing with tears that's smaller than you, couldn't be more than you, couldn't be more than true. Oh yeah, I was better than see what's obsessed with the day, making me blue like a stack in the bread, everything smells in the back of my head. Oh yeah, all I love, no man, and you are in meant to be. Baby, if you need wow, so amazing, and you are in meant to be. Oh, I'd rather it's the worst, baby. Thinking by the mat in your skirt, baby. Sorry you bruised your knees, yeah. Running wild in the trees, yeah. Will you remember me, yeah? All that heartache, we gon' in our young years. Oh, we do, yeah. But I'm in a different love, and I die for the share, yeah. Holding up the sky, make it cry for the share, yeah. Holding with my girls in the spring, yeah. I remember how you bring the baby home. You does it, baby, talking about your energy, trying to teach you all the shit, to save it from you when you need to remember. Don't you remember? Don't you? Don't you?
Amazing. Give it up again for Beryl. Amazing. And Deja King. Yes, both of them. Black girl magic and excellence. Excellence. I love it. And an event I had about 2 weeks ago. So that's an excellent. What a wonderful performance. We'll now have a slight intermission. Now some of you jumped the gun, which is a good thing because I probably would have too, for the food The VIP, where you can remain seated if you've already, you know, one thing about black folks, we're gonna find our way. So, the VIP, we're gonna get served. We'll have someone to serve you if you need to be served. If you've already gone to the back and got something, hey, no problem. And then general admission, you can also get in line or just go ahead and just do your own thing. And so right now we have just a slight pause and intermission for people to go ahead and get something to eat or refresh their plate. And we want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. We're going to give a shout out to some more. Turbo Print, MaaMaPlex, LLC, In Touch News, and TiTi Sweets and Treats. Turbo Print, so if you all have, you need flyers, banners, you need something to be printed, of course you know how AfroGanix and Bolaji gets down, black owned, so Turbo Print, MaaMaPlex, In Touch News, a great black owned newspaper that comes out once a month. So if you need to get your info, if you all have a business or you know a friend who has a business, go ahead and support them and contact them and put your information in there. And the distribution, it goes out to a lot of places. I use it myself for marketing, and it can get the word out very well. And TiTi Sweets and Treats. So we're gonna have a quick, really short intermission. Go ahead and refresh your plate and your cup, and we'll be right back with some more entertainment.
Black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking the Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. Never will creep me in they teepee. As I lay down laws like Island Coppet. Stop it. If you think they're gonna make a profit, don't see my ones, don't see my guns. Get it? Now tell your friends Papa hit it, then split it in two. As I flow with the Junior Mafia. I don't know what the hell's stopping ya. I'm clocking ya. Versace shade watching ya. Once you grin, I'm in, game begin. First I talk about how I dress is this, and diamond necklaces, stretch Lexuses. The sex is just immaculate. From the back I get deeper and deeper. Help you reach the climax that your man can't make. Call him, tell him you be home real late and sing the break. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. Sick of that song, how it's so long. Thought he worked his until I handled my biz. There I is, major pain like Damon Wayans. Low down dirty even like his brother Keenan scheming. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. Ask Puff Daddy. You ringing bells with bags from Chanel. Baby Benz traded in your Hyundai XL. Fully equipped CD changer with the cell. She beat me at 12.
Thank you so much.
If you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just.
Hello.
Hello.
Introductions are always so awkward because it's like weird. It's
Are you good?
uncomfortable when someone's talking about you. So I'm so happy to be here hello. So happy to be here tonight. Thanks so much for having me. I wasn't sure what to play for you, but after kind of hearing everything, and I keep hearing black owned, black owned, black owned. We don't really talk about it back at home in New York. We kind of like do it, and we don't say it. So it's good to hear it. So I think I'm gonna play a song, maybe a few pieces that you will recognize, maybe a couple that you don't. But this first one, it's from Songs in the Key of Life. Are any of you familiar with that record?
Yeah! Stevie Wonder.
Yes. And it's my favorite song on the record because it has harp. It's magic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know that that is a black harpist playing on that track by the name of Dorothy Ashby, who was a Detroit-based harpist. And she did so much. She had 11 albums. A lot of people don't know about it. She's on all the Earth, Wind & Fire, Bill Withers records, all those classic 70s records. The harp you hear is a black woman. So if it's magic. The next piece is actually, it's a jazz standard, a very popular jazz standard called Soft Leaves in the Morning Sunrise. But this is the arrangement that Dorothy Ashby performed on one of her many recordings, if I can remember it. Get through it.
Never.
I'm going to stick with Black women. This is an original of mine that I should know by heart, and I used to last year, but I forgot it. I wrote this, and I recorded it for my band, bass, drums, harp, saxophone, but then I created a reduced version for solo harp. And this is called Essence of a Ruby. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in thinking about this work and women, moms, I started to think about, I won't tell you what it is because I'm just going to assume you know it. Unless I just screw it up, but I think you'll know. Recognize it?
Something new.
Something you know this century, this decade, or
surprise us.
All right. Okay. Ooh. All right. I'll try this one. I never played this one. I won't tell you what it is to save myself. That was wrong.
to represent any body or person or anything. And again, each side really represents what was going on for us. But we were able to bring that together with the angel in the middle. And so someone said something about presence and the presence of our moms being in the room. And I truly believe that our creating this piece was a way to bring them together in a way that was supernatural. And so we continued to work, and then we decided to make this piece glow as well. And so that was just like a whole nother layer that you actually can't even see right now. So at first glance, our art looks like one thing. And I think that's very intentional, because when you see us operating in the world, you don't see our pain necessarily, you don't see our experiences, and we show up as these bright, vibrant, bold pieces. But underneath all of that, there is a lot of things that have come together to help us create that. And so we had to do this show. And it just so happened that we had to do it in Tampa, and we didn't really know why. But as we started putting it together, we got more and more stories of why this day was significant to each one of you. And so we try to be obedient and listen to the things that we're supposed to do, even when we don't want to do them, which is our hardest thing, because he's a Capricorn and I'm a Sagittarius. And listening to anyone other than ourselves is just a difficult task. And so listening to each other is also very difficult for us. But yeah, you got something else to say?
All right, so, oh yeah, she just took over, so I don't know if you got any more questions. Oh, okay.
I got some questions.
All right. So, mind you, so this piece, the reason why this piece is so significant and so important is because this is what started the whole concept, the whole idea to have the Gods and Angels show. We literally just created this piece, and from this piece, it had us dig a little bit deeper, and then we decided we need to build a whole body of work that kind of went with this. We're in DC right now, so our original plan was to have this in DC, and we were trying like crazy for years, literally, to try to get it in DC. But what's happening was just, it wasn't the right time and it wasn't the right type of love. And so then what happened was we definitely got to give it up to Bolaji, who helped put this on, because if it wasn't for her, we would not be here, and it wouldn't be the way it is today. And yeah, me and her, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so what happened was we were looking to do the show, and we were getting close to finding some place, but it just wasn't fitting, and it was getting to the point where we were just about to be like, you know what, maybe we just need to table it and just start doing other things. And then I told Bolaji about it. She was just like, yo, why don't you have it in Tampa, and why don't you bring it down here to Florida? And I was just like, I was like, no, man, that's kind of far. There's a whole lot of logistics that kind of go with it. And she was like, no, I'm telling you, the people, the love down here is just real. And I was just like, all right. So I trust your word. I'm going to come down and just experience it. And so when I came down here, that's exactly what it was. It was like we meeting people in random places, and it was just genuine. And so I was just like, you know what? I went back to DC, and then I hit up Lindsay, and I was like, you know what? I think Florida is where we need to bring the show. And she was like, yeah, so we're not about to take all this art down there. We're not about to do that. Like, this is where we're going to have, like, we just going to wait until we find it. See how big this piece is, right? So I was just like, no, trust. I was like, all right, you know what? I already set a date. We already set a location. We already did all this. Plan. There you go. See? Plan. When you plan it, then things actually start happening. All the other stuff that happens in the in-between time, you can kind of forget that. It's cool. So because of this piece, and because of Bolaji, and because of the energy that you guys give, we had to have the first show down here. So.
Okay. I had no idea when I first met you. I felt you were good.
Thank you.
But I had no idea just how good you are. and I really didn't know your story. You didn't tell me. That's probably because I was telling you so many stories. But, and I usually don't listen to other people when I'm talking. I do have a question. Okay. This piece right here. Now, you know, you came to the museum, so you know I tell stories about things. And when I first saw this, you remember when you were a little child and you had the little plays and stuff, and you would like the sunflower?
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was my initial thought there. And then I was talking to my friend and I was explaining to her that's what I thought. And then she said when she first looked at it, she thought of it as a bleeding heart. Well, until she said that, I didn't see the tears. Then after I looked and I saw the tears, then I saw that. So is that what, or would you explain?
So back in 2016, this is when I was doing a lot of like self-reflection and really like digging deep into my art to kind of find my voice and to really say something, because I had gained a certain level of skill sets where I'm like, I can create a piece that I know people would want to hang. I can create a piece that people would like, but I needed to create a piece that was telling a story. And not just any story, a story that was genuine to me. So what I did was I just literally went through my entire life and started really creating everything. And I said at the beginning of the year, I created that plan. And I was like, you know what? For this year, I'm gonna create 50 pieces. I don't care how big, how small, what it is, I'm just gonna create, and that's all I did. This was the very last piece I created in 2016, and I finished it at midnight on New Year's Eve. I was working on this piece all the way to the New Year. This piece is called Mama Dahlia, and it's literally a picture of my mom, literally within the dahlia, the black dahlia flower. And so if anybody knows the story about the black dahlia and what happened with that, that's kind of fusing those two things together. And so both of you guys actually were correct, because it is a bleeding heart, but it's also a flower surrounding her.
Hey, I'm an art critic. So now I'm Mistress of Comedy / art critic. Any of you have any questions?
Right here.
See, I can't see in the dark. Okay, all right.
So looking at, I'm loud, I'm not down. So looking at your angel piece, I'm going to guess that this side to the right is blue, and the side to the left is lenses. And I want to play art critic for just a second too, because when I
Trying to take my job.
well, you know what? Everybody's job is taken now. You got to get retrained.
So that's why I retired.
But what I see, even in the difference of the types of feathers, the amount of feathers, the color of feathers, what came through to me is the abrupt loss of your mother, because you're only using about 3 or 4 colors. So that's like in and done. And on your side, it shows so many different types and directions and colors that it shows like your mom went through a lot of different stages of things before you actually lost her. Is that part of what you were thinking when you were painting?
So again, I paint how I feel, and I didn't think about it. But when I stepped back to process, which is how I create, that is exactly correct. So my mom was told 3 times, or was in a coma 3 times in my childhood. And so the last time she was considered dead. And each of those 3 times she came back out of a coma. And so for me, I went through this ebb and flow of I have a mom, I don't have a mom, I have a mom, I don't have a mom, I have a mom. And when I was 10 years old, the doctors told my mom that she had 3 months to live. And they told me that and told her that she needed to prepare because she wasn't going to live for longer than 3 months. My mom died when I was 13, so that meant she lived for 3 more years. And so the number 3 has been significant. And so we also have 13 as significant and 21 as significant. Today is December 13th. And so a lot of what we do is very intentional in terms of honoring some of the things that kind of were reoccurring. And for me, again, I'm process-oriented because my whole life was a process. And so I spent so much time thinking it was over and then having more time, and thinking it was over and then having more time. And every time I was super grateful for that additional time, because it was something more that I got to learn, more time, more experience. And it was difficult. It was difficult because when you think you're going to lose someone and you literally are watching them lying there lifeless, but they come back, it makes you not believe in the systems of life and death in the way in which the doctors kept telling me. And so my mom was a super spiritual person, like overly spiritual in some ways, and she was saying to me, these doctors can't tell me when I'm gonna die because I'm going to leave here when I'm ready. And she told me one time that she wasn't going to be ready until she thought I was ready. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but again, Blue referenced our pieces back there in the corner. I was the one who had to take my mom off life support. I was the only one who was there. And it was the most difficult decision because, again, I have watched my mom 3 times prior be completely lifeless for months at a time and come back. And so at that point, I was like, I can't be the one to be the determinant, but I remembered my mom saying that she was only gonna go when I was ready. And I watched her go through pain and turmoil, but never once complained. Never once had anyone feel as though they needed to care for her in such a way. And so all I wanted to do was care for her. And that day when she passed away, she was smiling. She smiled so hard that we couldn't get her mouth to close. We literally had to wire her mouth closed for the funeral. And that was my indicator that in all of the pain that there was joy. And so when I paint, I try to make sure that I represent both sides. And so as you see in here, that process of going back and forth. My mom was also a Leo, so that the front part of the wing is a lion. And she was very much a Leo. So it's just, again, it's super intentional in that way. But it's really about showing the layers for me of what loss really was.
Y'all see the lion?
The lion? Right here.
Yeah, I just saw it.
You just saw it? You gotta stare at him for a while because you'll see something different every time.
That's the beauty of art. Okay, any?
That was a great question, by the way.
Any more questions? About anything? Who? No more questions? Okay. How long are you going to be here? No, wait. How long are you going to be in the area?
I leave tomorrow night after I find a beach.
After you do what?
I gotta find a beach. I don't care. I need some sand on my toes.
You don't want rainy sand.
I don't care.
Okay.
I need a little bit.
You're from the north.
Do you realize that it is 30 degrees and snowing where I'm going back to tomorrow? It can rain on the beach and I will be there.
You know, I still would like for you to send us some. Did you ever send us anything to the museum?
not yet, but we can make that
I
happen.
really would like for you to do that so
Okay.
that the art director or the executive director can see your work. And because what we do is we do a lot of local talent, but we allow African Americans who have not had the opportunity to actually have a showing or what have you, show their work.
Okay.
And I'm sure she would, I don't know what I was thinking, why I didn't invite her to come tonight. Well, because we got an event tomorrow, that's why I didn't. But I'm sure she would love to see your work.
Okay. We'll make that
And
happen.
very well may, I'm just speaking on me, but I'm sure she may very well want to give you an opportunity to show your art. Y'all write some letters. Okay, anyway. Speaking of, again, of the Dr. Carter G. Woodson African American History Museum, our mayor just awarded us 5 acres of land and $1 million so that we can build a larger museum from where we are. Because basically what we're in right now is what once was a community center. And so we're real excited about that, and we're gearing up plans because we're going to still have to raise more money. But we're really excited about that opportunity. Okay? No, I don't want to talk to you.
No, her mic.
What's that?
The main mic. Everybody's been
Okay. If you
it's clipping. Extra charges. Yeah, that's the charge over there.
What's my name?
Say my name.
Say my name.
I know your name. The amazing Miss Lynnette. Give her a round of applause. And let's go ahead and give another round of applause to these amazing artists, not only coming down and putting out their work for display, but also sharing an amazing story. It was a heartfelt and warm. Brother, I appreciate it. Sharing your soul, Queen. I appreciate it. Because, it was set to a great backdrop. And for our visual pleasure. So thank you so much. Especially, this wonderful picture painting that y'all worked together with. It's amazing. Just Black excellence working together and coming up with something great. So we appreciate that. You want to say something?
I think we just need. How you turn the microphone on? Hello? I really think we don't just need to clap, okay? We need to stand up and clap for this young lady, this young lady, this young lady, and this young man, and the rest of these people. This is an amazing event. I have been to a lot of things in my life, but I must say that this is one of the nicest all Black things other than what we did. But I really think we need to do more stuff like this.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know there are those of you out there who have thought of things similar to this to do. Don't just think of them. Do them. Not to give credit to other people, but just do it. They tried to tell y'all that years ago. Just do it. Because that's how we're gonna make things happen, is by simply doing them. All right, I said it.
There it is. The wonderful Miss Lynnette. And so as we wrap up once again, we want to thank all our vendors for this evening. Shout out.
The GP will see you now.
song for you. Yeah, girl, I see you. Them other men out there trying to deceive you. They go to plan and their plans for evil. I just wanna greet you short and you say I see you. Cause I see you shine, so may I salute. And I see you grind all day like a troop. Time after time, you may not have moved. If I bring the vibes, will you bring your shoes? Cool. One time for the girls all around the world who know how to get down, down, down. Love God, love people, hate sin. You rap them all over your town. You don't even care what the world say. You had your eye on the prize in the first place. The mother man that's surprised that you weren't bait. But I know that you're known by the God who was worthy. Girl, I don't wanna be rude, but I go my eyes. I can sit and play it cool, but that one me I know. Girl, but you read them
Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina, with my Angelina. Oh me all down. Anytime when I see you for the club or the television, your body. Sure you know say the thing when you carry 50 kill somebody. You know I feel a vibe, you feel a vibe, so baby whine about me. Yeah, and I know you shy, but it's cool when we're making love. On the low, 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 on the low. Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina, I'm a Angelina. Oh no, so when I want to come out, make a signal you. Why you want to request on me like I interview? I'm tryna put a ring on your finger too.